It's crazy how quiet the world becomes after you step outside, which is weird because there's a hell of a lot going on out here as well. Just perspective, I guess. Forests are kinda scary. One second you can recognize the direction you came from, but the next you're completely lost, and with the sun being hidden behind a layer of leaves, it's very hard to reorient yourself after you've gotten lost. And I know it's kinda tropey, but it does feel like something is watching you while you're out in these woods. Maybe that's just because everything else is so alive, you know? Again though, forests seem so calm and peaceful, but like any plant, they can grow to deeply overwhelm you if you aren't careful. But at a certain point, you become reacquainted. Understanding what makes the forest grow, you notice the animals looking at you from a distance, how the wind blows, and where to go when it gets a little spooky. And then you feel that comfort once more. Aided by the discoveries you've made along this path, it all feels a little less intense. So why say all of this? Well, for a few reasons, but you gotta stick with me here for a second. Knowledge-based games. TUNIC, Myst, Outer Wilds, Void Stranger, Return of the Obra Dinn, and so on and so forth. These types of games pride themselves on the fact that the only thing truly holding you back is knowledge. Technically, you can beat Outer Wilds in less than 20 minutes if you know what you're doing, and technically you can just know all of the secret moves of the little fox at TUNIC, but you don't have that knowledge at the beginning. And until you get that knowledge, the world seems so big and mysterious, unfair and nonsensical. While you could just Google the answers, you wouldn't want to do that, because you'd miss the magic of the pieces clicking in your brain. In a way, these games are sort of like being a kid. The world seems so big and mysterious, there's a sort of certain magic to the things you'd see as mundane now. And in a way, a lot of things follow this idea. Everything you do for the first time feels a lot larger than when you do it consecutive times. Like jumping off a diving board, or starting a new job, or life itself. But just because the experience isn't brand new anymore doesn't mean it loses its value or is less cool. It just has different things you enjoy about it now. TUNIC becomes a very different game once you understand the world. It's not ruined, but the way you navigate is very different. You know the shortcuts, the secret little techniques, and all of the subtle little details that help you navigate in a nicer, more smooth, streamlined way. And you might think, well, what about Outer Wilds? You said that you can just beat that game in 20 minutes, so what's the point if everything just leads to that result? And to that I say, well, you're not wrong. You'll never be able to experience those special moments for the first time ever again, and if you did, you'd never realize how special they were until it was too late. But I can't blame you, there was a lot more to think about while they were happening. All of the big scary trees and getting lost and feeling as if you were being watched. By the time you understand it all, it feels as if it was too late to love it as much as you could have, and you regret those moments you spent worrying. But just because an experience is discovered and over for you, doesn't mean it cannot be remembered. You can tell your friends about this game and let them know that it's okay to make a few mistakes. You can watch them experience what you did in those moments. Help reassure them that this big and scary world isn't so scary, so they can appreciate the magic that comes with it. And so, while you may not be able to experience the game in that same magical way, you can still remember those feelings, share those worries, and talk about your experiences with others. And I think that's pretty neat. Where we got stuck on, where we thrived, where we stopped, and so on and so forth. And even if none of that sounds like what you wish you could have, well, you should probably know by now that you won't be able to walk through the forest in the same way again. But there are more things than just the forest. There isn't just one magical experience in the world. There are so many, I truly don't believe you can do them all in a single lifetime. And none of them are going to be perfect either. Nothing is. A lot of the times you forget the woods for the trees, or something. When you look at what's so unfortunate about a thing and not how cool it is, sometimes it can feel like you didn't love that game enough. Bad parts are kind of part of the experience as well. It doesn't mean you have to enjoy the bad parts. However, there are a lot of things that can be missed out on the journey to understand the journey, to fix what's broken and build something new, to long for something that was never there, and of course, it's a good thing to keep moving, but there are also flowers here, and I'm sure they smell delightful. I'll never be able to experience those magical things in the same way again, but I can keep an eye out, so I don't forget to enjoy a place I'm at, so I can help others to be able to enjoy these situations, and so we can love the fact that we love the things we love. Too much? I don't care. I enjoy talking about this sort of stuff, and I love myself a good knowledge-based game. In fact, when I learn about a new one, I do my best to be fully invested because I really never know what the darndest things have in store. That's why I love the unsolved mysteries of the universe, because maybe, at some point, you'll understand something and it'll all click. But until that point, it's the curiosity that drives me. I think I did lose my direction. I actually don't know which way is up or down anymore. Someone please send help. Whoops.